It's time for another deer camp. Got it, I think, everything loaded up except ice and some fuel to start the fire. We got some rain coming this weekend, so I've got all the tarps and everything to keep camp dry. And going into an area that I'm looking forward to hunting. Haven't deer hunted it since last year. Did a little scouting mission this past summer with my buddy Isaac. We got a bunch of guys coming to camp. So I think I'll be the first one there, but I'm gonna try to get everything set up and then go hunt this evening. So let's get rolling. I think this looks like a good spot to set up. I was gonna go over there, but it's a little more sunny. I like the shade here. I'll get camp set up and then I'll show y'all how I do everything for deer camp, and then we'll get out and hit the woods. Alright, so a little quick tour of deer camp. This is the deluxe edition. I don't usually have the canopy tent and all the tarps unless we got rain in the forecast, which we do. So I just bought a brand new tent. It's like twice the size of my old one. Good old Ozark Trail Walmart special. I keep my dry box of clothes and other stuff in there, snacks, jacket. Got my hunting boots. I'm gonna wear the Crocs this afternoon. Just a whole mess of stuff in here. This is my camping tote. I just keep stuff you might need. There's a skillet in there, wipes, olive oil, paper towels, plates, soap, just a bunch of stuff, forks. I've got a thermocell in the truck, and I got refills right here. The stuff that I use for camping, rechargeable. I'll never go back to AA, AAA powered lights. I love these rechargeable lights. Water, because we need water. There's some fresh, I think it's pecan and sassafras. Fresh wood that's been seasoned all summer. Torch for starting the fire. I'm going to pick up some diesel on the way back from hunting this evening to start fires with, because we do have rain coming and that'll really help. Got a clothesline for hanging hunting clothes. As you can see, we'll stay dry up under here. I do have another big tarp back there because we got more guys coming, and they'll pull in and disperse out here as they want and set up their tents wherever they want, and then I'll have an extra tarp for them if they need it. So camp's a little bit different every time, but it's more or less the same setup. If it's going to be nice weather with no rain, I won't fool with the tarps. But it's definitely a huge plus to have some shelter from the rain, keep the firewood dry, keep yourself dry, all that good stuff. Once everybody else gets here, I'll show you all how our whole setup looks, and we'll have some good times around the fire, I'm sure. And hopefully some of us put some deer down. Speaking of which, I'm gonna head out, so let's go hit the woods. Well, I got to a spot where I hunted last year. I'm gonna give it a shot. There's a truck parked about 150, 200 yards down the road. I'm not sure where he is. I'd like to think he's off in these woods in front of me. So hopefully I don't bump into anybody. If I do, I'll have to turn around and try something else. But where I parked here is a lot easier access to where I'm going. So I'm hoping this guy's hunting somewhere else and we're not going to mess each other up. There's plenty of woods here, so let's get going and I'll see what I can find. Alright, so the woods go on down this way. There's a big clear-cut thicket here. Very good potential bedding here. But last year I hunted farther down, and the deer came from farther down coming up this way. The way the wind is tonight, it should be blowing into this thicket, which is not ideal, but considering what I saw last year, it's not the only place deer bed, and there's a lot more woods off that way. There's bedding all through there. And I'm just going to have to sacrifice this thicket so that my wind doesn't blow into farther down in the woods where the deer are liable to come out of. I just heard what sounded like multiple animals up ahead. Almost so far I couldn't tell, but I definitely heard something. It's either a flock of turkeys or I just bumped some deer off the bed. The good thing is if I did bump some deer, they haven't seen me and they'll probably be back. I took 10 steps and there's a very freshly worked scrape right here. Let's see if I can find any other sign. I'm not just going to hunt a scrape. The scrape's right over there. I walked down this trail and there's 2 big swamp chestnut oaks, and they're dropping pretty good. Now, I haven't found any droppings yet, but there's deer tracks. You see, there's a fawn track right there. There's fresh deer tracks, and there's a lot more caps than acorns, which is a great sign. They're all being eaten pretty quick. See, they're pretty big. That's a cap on one. Let's see if I can find a whole acorn. See, this acorn's bad, so it's not been eaten. But they're real big, white oak acorns. There's a swamp chestnut. Definitely looks good here. I haven't found any droppings yet, but I think I've seen enough sign here. There's fresh deer tracks. There's a scrape. Pretty good looking setup. I can see a long ways, which is a plus. I don't normally hunt woods this open, but it's nice to be able to see, at least for an observation set. I haven't seen any crazy sign, but the best of it is right around these oak trees here. I think she picked up a little bit of ground scent. She was fine until the squirrels went nuts. I don't know what they're barking at. I thought another deer was coming in. I had her dead if she had just given me a little opening to shoot through. I doubt they'll come back, but they did seem to be coming into the acorns. This spike came in the same way I did. It's probably bedded in that thicket. Bucks chasing these does. This little guy doesn't have a clue what's going on. One of the bucks just came running back. I couldn't tell if the bigger buck came back, but 2 deer came back. The same way they chased those does, came back. And then I think that little spike just went and followed him. There's a hound dog running loose. Well, that dog finally found his way over here. One heck of a way to start out deer camp. I wish those bucks would have shown some interest. I only could try. Throw a grunt or two at them, snort wheeze. They ended up coming back, I'm not sure why, but one looked like it could have been a shooter. I'm gonna pack up and we'll head back to camp and see who all's made it, see what everybody else has seen this evening. So I know we got at least a couple guys out hunting this evening. Getting camp set up. Got a mansion going up back there. I should have brought this over earlier. It'll could drive the steaks down a little better. Oh. Yeah, I use firewood to put my steaks in. Apparently nobody's used this road in a long time.
Oh no.
Now it's running over trees. Well, running over saplings going through there.
Jeez.
Now it's got to be buffed because I got scratches all over it.
We've got quite the setup here.
We got tents for days.
I killed this when I was at Campbell.
You killed it?
Killed it.
That's a nice deer.
That was the last deer I shot with a rifle.
With
a rifle? 6, 7 years ago. Last buck that I shot with a rifle.
On Campbell?
No.
Not approved.
Definitely give a thumbs down on.
It's going to be a thumbs down on that.
Thumbs down.
Adrian, I'm throwing this on you.